Dear friends, thank you very much for your interest in listening to my words. I am Sitaram Naik from India. Hate speech. You get full freedom to hate people of other religions if you take care of two things. One, don't use what people of other religions have created. Two, don't use what people of other religions have already used. For more clarity, let me give you examples of these two things. The first thing what you need to leave is mobile phone. Mobile phone has many parts: cover, screen, internal memory, external memory, CPU, camera, applications, games and so on. And each part comes from different company. As companies don't have any rules of religions, they will have people of all religions as employees. So that means a mobile phone is created by people of all religions of the world. The next one what you need to leave is your car. Car is also having many parts like tires, outer design, internal cushions, stereo system and GPS, navigation system and lot of other things. And again, each part is coming from different company. As I told you earlier, companies can have people of all religions as employees. So a car is created by people of all religions of the world. Similarly, the public transport like bus, train, flight, ship and all other vehicles are created by people of all religions. So the next one what you need to leave is food. Food is having, the food what you are eating is having many ingredients like rice, wheat, vegetables, fruits, salt, spices and many other things. And each one is coming from different place made by different people. Take example of rice. The owner of the land is one person and he buys seeds from one shop and he uses many tools and vehicles for sowing and other irrigation purpose. And many different workers will come and work for this work. And finally, after the crops are ready, the crop is cut and it is sold to some major factories. They clean it, polish it and they pack it and sell it to major shopping malls. And they pack into smaller parts and that is what we get it to home. And this is whole thing is involved, the many people of different religions are involved in one ingredient of our food. So if you take the food what we eat one time is having so many ingredients and each one is coming from different place and made by different people. And we are importing food. So that means the food what we are eating is created by people of all religions of the world. The next thing is water. The people of other religions have already drank the water and urinated. They wash their face, they have bath, they wash dishes, they wash clothes and all that water is going in drain. And then drain is going and joining or mixed into the ocean. The ocean water is evaporated and forming clouds. The clouds are going all around the world and raining. The rainwater is what we are getting it as rivers, tanks, lakes and even underground water. That water comes to our home in different forms and we filter it and drink it. So that means the water what we are drinking now is already used by people of all religions of the world. The last but not the least is air. People of other religions have already breathed in the air and then they released it. And that air got mixed into what we are breathing in now. So that means the air is already used by people of all other religions, all religions of the world. So those who want to hate people of other religions, please avoid these things. Then you'll automatically get full freedom to hate people of other religions. By default, we all love each other. We all love all living creatures in the world. I'll prove it in 2 minutes. Assume you went out with your loved one and you both are feeling hungry and you checked your bag and you found one apple. So immediately you give it to your loved one. That person ate half of it and gave it to you. So you take it and you start eating and you eat half of it and you give it back to that person and that person eats it. So here, when the person ate half of it and gave it to you, you don't check whether that apple touched the person's teeth or lips. You don't check all that. You unconditionally eat it because there is unconditional love between you both. Similarly, the person sitting next to you is breathing air and is consuming whatever he wants and he is releasing it. And you are consuming that air, you are breathing in that air and consuming whatever you want and releasing it. And then immediately the other person is breathing it. So that means we are sharing the air without any conditions. That means we love each other unconditionally. And similarly, we love unconditionally with all other living creatures in the world. Then from where this word hate came from? Actually, hate has not come, it is created. I'll tell you one example. One adult met a small child, 5 years old child, and asked, who do you like the most, your mother or your father? The child immediately says, my father. Then the adult says, okay, that means you like your father and you don't like your mother. As the child didn't think of this, she was silent. Then the adult continued. So that means you hate your mother. Then the child thought, okay, not liking means hate. Maybe that's right. So the child nodded her. Then this adult confirmed, okay, you like your father and you hate your mother. Okay, the child nodded her head as if she learned something new. From that day onwards, the child was getting angry whenever her mother does something. So exactly this is how the politicians are separating people, creating the hate between religions. When you go for some spiritual lecture or some meeting, public meeting, they start telling you, you like your religion, you like your God, and you don't like God of other religions. That means you hate God of other religions. That means you hate other religions and you hate people of other religions. As if this whole thing, the logic looks reasonable, so people's mind gets recorded. Okay, we hate people of other religions. When you go out in public transport, you find some other person who is dressed like other person of other religion. Immediately your mind tells you, okay, you hate that person. Though he is unknown person, usually we don't hate or like unknown persons. But because somebody put in your mind that you hate people of other religions, immediately you will remember, okay, I hate this person. And from that time onwards, you try to avoid that person or try to stay away from that person, or even if required, you don't help that person or you don't take help from that person. So this is how some politicians are separating people in the name of religion and hate. Do you think hate is opposite word of like? No. I'll tell you. You see, there are two words, cold and hot. Do you think these two are opposites? I say it's not. They are not opposites, because 20 degrees centigrade in Africa is cold. Same 20 degrees centigrade in Alaska is hot. Then what is the difference? Here cold and hot are just less heat and more heat. They are not opposites. So we draw somewhere in between. We draw one strong line in between and we will say below this is cold and above this is hot. Similarly, for like and hate, they are coming from less love and more love. When you draw a strong line between less love and more love, we say it is hot, it is hate, and the other one is like. In the example of mother and father, the child loves both mother and father, but she loves little less and a little more. She loves little more her father. But when the adult drawn a strong line between these two, it became like she likes her father and she hates her mother. So please remove this line and change these words. It is all less love and more love. There is nothing like and hate. Definitions. Religion. Religion is a guidebook of a path to perfection of an individual. There is a huge mountain called life, and the tip of the mountain is perfection. Every person starts the life at the bottom of the mountain. There are infinite paths to reach the mountain top. Two persons cannot have exactly same path because their step size and foot size are different. And so the guidebook of each one of these paths is a religion. As each path of the person is unique, the religion of a person is also unique. So we have about 7 billion religions in our world right now. God is a belief that someone or something is having power to create, power to cure, power to control, power to change, and power to destroy. You install the belief in something and it becomes God for you. That something can be you, other human being, other creature, material, or energy. People who install belief in themselves may become atheists. Spirituality. When you are happy, when you are in sorrow, when you are helpless, when you have achieved a lot, when you have done great things, when you have done all sins, when you have lost somewhere, when you are hurt, when you have disease, when you are about to die, there is only one person with you always. There is only one person supporting you always. There is only one person thinking about you always. There is only one person helping you always and in all conditions. That is you. That is God. You are God. Understanding this concept is called spirituality. Science. Let me tell you a story. A famous scientist met a small child of 8 years old. And after initial introductions, the scientist told the student, science is a great thing. Science is a great thing. It knows everything. You also study science in your school. Then immediately the child asked, what does the science know? The scientist says, it knows everything, like speed of light, speed of sound, and many other things. Then he continued, you know, light is faster than sound. Then immediately child asked, how do you know? Then scientist said, experiments were done to find exact speed of sound and light. And the child asked, did you do the experiment? The scientist said, no. Our previous scientists were done that and they told us. Then the child said, so you believe them blindly? Then scientist, Okay, now also I can prove that light is faster than sound. You take example of the rain. When it rains, you see lightning and you hear thunder. And you always see lightning much before the thunder. So that means light is faster than sound. Then the child asks, my friend reaches school before I reach. Do you think my friend is faster than me? Then scientist says, yes. Then the child says, my friend starts 30 minutes before I start and his house is the other side of the school. How can you say he is faster than me? Then the scientist said, but in case of lightning and thunder, both starts at same time. Then the child said, I am watching lightning and thunder for a long time. They both come randomly. And just don't tell me whatever comes in your mind to prove your ignorance. And the child leaves from there. Then the scientist thought, okay, the child has to grow some more to understand the concepts of science. In this story, the child is science and the scientist is spirituality. Science is having 1,000 years of experience and spirituality is having million years of experience. So the science spirituality. Poverty. When a person's income is more than expenditure, that person is rich. When a person's income is less than or equal to expenditure, that person is poor. A healthy person can do enough work and earn enough food for living. Then why we have so many poor people in this world? Because there are dependents. If a person is having two non-earning parents and two children, and if his income is very low, then automatically that whole family becomes poor. If government or the NGOs can take care of those dependents, automatically the people will become rich or they will automatically come out of poverty. So there is only one solution for this problem is increase the income of individuals, give some opportunity or training so that the income of the individuals increase. Second part, reduce the expenditure by taking care of their dependents, their education expenses, medical expenses and all other expenses of dependents. Otherwise, both. But still there are many poor people in this world because there are dependents. A person is having two elder parents, non-earning parents and two children. Then the whole family becomes poor if the income is not reasonable. If governments can take care of the dependents, automatically every person earns their own food and comes out of poverty. So it is having three solutions. One, give training or opportunities so that people get more income. Two, take care of the dependents and their expenditure so that people come out of poverty. Three, do both of them. And this is the only way we can eradicate poverty in this world. Wealth gap. Let me tell you a story. There is a park. In that park, along with swings and slides, there is a big sand pit. So children like to play in sand more than other things. So all the children come and take some part of sand and they make different shapes and they enjoy. One day, one child comes and he takes major part of the sand and he made a big sand castle. It was so nice. Other children who came also saw that and praised the child, and they enjoyed it. And then when they wanted to play, they tried to take the sand, the remaining sand, but the remaining sand was very less. So they took whatever is there and they started playing. As more and more children coming, the remaining sand was not enough. So these children were just waiting for the owner of the sand castle who created the sand castle to leave so that they can use the sand. But that owner of the sand castle, he is not leaving. He was there for a long time. And these people are just waiting. And after some time, a friend of this owner came and he handed over this whole sand castle to his friend, and this child left. And now there is one more owner of the sand castle. Now he is protecting the sand castle and he is not allowing other children to take sand from this. So children waited for him, and after some time he called one more friend of his, and then he made owner of the sand castle. So that way the whole day somebody was taking ownership of the sand castle, and they did not allow the other children to use the sand for playing. Okay, the children who are not able to play today, they thought, okay, tomorrow they can come and play with the sand. So they went home. Next day, by the time that park was opened, one of these owners was already present and he started protecting the sand castle. He did not allow any other children to take sand from it. And again, whole day they were taking shifts and they were protecting the sand castle. So again, this day also, all the children were not able to use the sand for their play. And this is going on for many centuries. Here in this story, the sand castle is the natural resource what we are utilizing. Few centuries back, the strong people occupied huge irrigation land. How much ever they could occupy, they occupied so much. And they labeled it as they are the owner of that whole land. And other people in the village, they did not get enough land, so they started doing some other work because they could not do irrigation. So this is how it started a wealth gap. So some people had huge land and the others had negligible land only to stay. And these people thought, okay, let him enjoy the land and do whatever he wants. And after he leaves, that land can be utilized by others. But this person, he made sure that this whole land goes to their children. And from then onwards, that whole land is, the owner of that whole land is, the generation to generation, it is getting shifted to their children only. So that is how the initial wealth gap has started. Whoever could occupy most of the natural resources became rich, and other people became very poor. And along with this land, they utilize energy and time of the other people, because they take other people as workers for irrigation and farming. And after the irrigation, whatever food they get, the whole thing is again goes to the owner of the land. So they are becoming more and more rich. And that food again they sell it and they get gold and currency with that. And generation to generation, all that property, wealth is getting coming down. Okay, generation to generation, it is inherited to all the people of their children only. And after some time, now that whoever is rich, they are taking power also. The political power they are gaining because of their background, wealthy background. So that is also, it's not left to the general public, because whoever is having political power, again that is also going to generation in the same family. So whoever is rich, they are becoming more rich, more and more rich, and they are gaining more and more natural resources and they are becoming rich. And whoever is poor, they don't have enough natural resources to grow. So they are becoming more and more poor. So this is how the wealth gap is growing in this world. And another type of wealth gap is, you take example of a poor family. A family with 4 children. So yes, they cannot invest money for education of all the children. So whatever money they have, they invest the whole thing in one child, so that the child will study well and he will earn later, and so that earnings can be distributed to the whole family and the whole family will grow. So the child will study and he will get reasonable income source. Then if the child, after he gets proper job, if he shares his wealth to all the family members, then whole family becomes rich, and the future generations of the family also becomes rich, and it will be proper. But if the child, after he gains the reasonable income source, if he leaves the family and goes away, then the child will be the rich, he is richer, and the whole family becomes more poor because whatever they had, they invested on the child. So this is how in some families the wealth gap is increasing. And similarly, in the worldwide, the same wealth gap is clearly shown across the countries. Some countries, as they got initial knowledge, they utilized all the natural resources of the world and they became full rich. They become full wealthy. And other countries who could not utilize natural resources so much, they became poor. So now, if this wealthy country, the rich country, if does not share its wealth or the income with all other countries, then there will be wealth gap, because this country will grow more and more, and the other poor countries will be going down and down, because already the natural resources were used, and we are getting all the problems of air pollution and global warming because of the rich nations which have consumed most of the natural resources. So to come out of this type of wealth gap, the child who is earning more has to share his wealth with whole family, and the countries who are earning or getting more wealth, they have to share their wealth with all other countries. Then only the whole world will grow in harmony, and there will be peace, and wealth gap will be reduced to the minimum. Climate change. I found air pollution as the root cause of global warming. So with exhaustive study and thinking, I got an idea of product that can filter air pollution. So I tried to give this idea to many scientists and ministers, but nobody was interested in listening to this. So I decided to patent it so that the whole world can read it. So in 2012, I applied for international patent for the air pollution filter. And the patent authority searched for this idea in other articles, and they found that exactly 100 years back, in 1912, somebody else has already patented the same idea. So that means for more than 100 years, we have simple solutions to control air pollution and global warming. But now the world is spending billions of dollars in the name of global warming without any hope. The idea of the product is simple. It is an air pollution filter that filters the air pollution at source. We can fit this to each vehicle, and the same design works for factories also. and the cost of the air pollution filter will be less than 1 day cost of the fuel consumption of the vehicle. I think if you implement this product, this idea, within 5 years we should be able to control global warming. Disability. I had polio. I have polio. As a child, I used to think that my disability was because of my poverty, because my parents were unable to spend money for treatment. So I studied well, I got high salary job, earned money. Then I went to many famous hospitals and met many experts in the field to know that there is no cure for polio. So what should I do now? Should I leave it? No. I understood this as medical science did not know how to cure polio. So now it is my responsibility to improve my own leg. So I decided to improve my own leg. So I started doing exercises. I spent 3 to 4 hours daily on the polio affected leg. I did various exercises to find which exercise makes what difference. One day I got heavy pain in the leg and I got fever also because I could not bear the pain. So within 4 days I stopped all the exercises, and within 4 days the fever and the pain came down. Still I didn't start the exercises. So after 15 days I felt there was a bulging effect in the muscle. Though still I was observing daily and I didn't do any exercises, and within 30 days I could see there was a visual growth in the muscle. The muscle has grown. Then I understood that the nerve, one of the disabled nerve got activated when I got the heavy pain. So without even exercises, the connected muscles are growing. With the same technique, I activated 3 more nerves and all the connected muscles are growing to match with the normal leg. So there are few more nerves spinning and I am working on them. Once I activate all the nerves of my leg, I should be able to recover my polio affected leg completely. Why am I telling you this story? Because there are millions of disabled people in the world, and medical science has already declared that their body can never be improved. Please don't believe it. It is your body, you can improve it. Only you can understand exactly what happens in your body and in your mind. Having disability is an opportunity to find something new. Only you know what happens exactly in your body, in your mind. So you are the right person to improve your body. I am here to help you. You remember, you are never given a wish without being given the power to make it come true. You have unique body, you have unique mind, you have unique life. Remember, you are unique and everything. For any further questions or more details, visit my website complexproblems.solutions. Thank you very much.